You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's R&B Divas After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's R&B Divas After Show.
Hey, how y'all feeling right now? Yeah. Season 3.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're tuned into AfterBuzz TV for the R&B Divas Season 3 After Show. I'm your host, Bamm Ericsen.
I am Alfred Nolan Thomas II.
And I am Larice People, TruePeoplesMedia.com. Check it out.
And Meg Scoop, she's not here, but she will be returning. She'll be returning next week. So, Season 3, R&B Divas, Atlanta. What do you guys think so far?
First of all, I'm going to say, welcome back, everybody.
Hey,
it's been a long time. How are you, sir? How are you? Nice to meet you. How y'all doing? Great. It's been a wonderful time in our absence, but you know what? I'm glad to be back.
Yes, It's been a minute. It's been a long time since we're here.
Yeah.
And just like that, we're back.
Yeah, but we're back, and so we'll be covering R&B Divas Atlanta and R&B Divas LA, which will be premiering sometime in July. So,
Things have changed.
Things have changed.
Yes.
So first of all, we're gonna cover episodes 1 and 2 since we were gone last week. But so let's just jump right into it. So. Nikki Gilbert, Faith Evans, and Latasha Scott are gone. So are you guys surprised? What do you think?
No, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I feel like they kind of bring substance to the show as a balance, because with Faith Evans there, she's no drama, and I think she kind of keeps the girls level-headed. Mm-hmm. But now I think it's just going to be like chaos throughout the whole season.
What do you think?
Well, I think that's what they're trying to avoid, I'm assuming, by the change-up of the cast. But at the same time, like the original R&B Divas Atlanta had a lot of strong vocal quality type sisters that we wanted to see come together. So I think they're deciding to try to go a different direction with this new cast, and it seems like, unfortunately, they just jump right back into the drama.
Mm-hmm. But I think the whole thing is that you just can't. People are who they are no matter what. No matter how much you change the cast, unless you got a totally new, different cast. But majority of the 70% of the cast is still there, so you're gonna have 70% of the same type of drama and attitude and disruption throughout the whole entire season.
Well, I'm not shocked Faith was not coming back, just because she bailed out in the middle of season 2. So I knew Faith was done. Nikki, I'm not surprised she's gone, because she got such backlash from her behavior. So I'm not surprised that Nikki is gone. Latasha just seemed like she didn't give a damn, and she wasn't interested. So I'm not surprised neither of these ladies are gone. And so now let's go forward. And so last week for episode 1, at Angie Stone, I'm gonna start calling her Mother Stone, because she's clearly trying to be that mother. Mother Stone. She had this thing called Gratitude Tea, and so the 2 new characters for Atlanta was introduced, and the 2 members were Latavia Robinson, who's a former member of Destiny's Child, who's infamously kicked out and found out that they were gone when they saw the Say My Name video, and then. And then Michel'le Williams, who's the former lead singer of 702. So what do you guys think about the new addition?
First of all, it's kind of bad to be like, I didn't know I was kicked out of a group until I saw the video. Like, me personally, I would feel I would be hurt deeply, because I'm thinking like, yo, you know what? Me, Alfred, and Bamm, we're a group. If y'all came and did this show without me, and I'm like watching like, oh, like y'all changed the date of the show, time of the show, and it's like Alfred, Bamm, and Johnny, I would feel some type of way.
Yeah. Well, I think it clearly hit her, because she talks briefly about how she dealt with substance abuse, which I'm assuming is drugs or some form of liquor.
She's on that yak.
You know, and so we'll see how this story unravels, and then
Hopefully it wasn't a hard drug, because she still looked good. She looked good. So I
Yeah,
don't
that
trip
is-
it. Both of them look
she
good.
did look
They
good,
were,
man.
one thing I could say is obviously that they wanted to bring a new kind of air to the
Some young
R&B
blood.
Divas brand, because technically to me it was weird to see them at the same time, because I was like, R&B Divas, they had like powerhouse singers, and now with them they're more girl groupish, but at the same time, like Michel'le, she was a lead, so I mean, I really like 702 for all their songs. So it's like, okay, I'll give it a chance. And like I said, they look good, they're young, they bring a fresh new vibe, but I still think they are liable to go right into the same kind of mentality and concept that the other women have been caught up in.
I agree to you, because overall you have to look at majority of the cast is still 70% of the same old cast. And again, people don't change who they are. New people kind of either two things happen. They either adapt to the situation or they rise above the situation. So my thing is are they going to rise above the situation, or are they going to get caught up in the same drama, same attitude, same misconception of, you know what, I'm going to be just like them. And again, my thing is, are you going to make music? And that's the whole thing. You're an R&B diva. This is who you were once before. But are you gonna move forward and be able to put at least one song out?
Well, I think this is the issue. Angie's song in episode 1, she was with the radio DJ, which was it was Chubb Rock, who's I believe he was a rapper back in the 90s.
Yeah.
But she was saying to him how, let's be honest, you know, no one is really checking for us right now. And so we need to take advantage of this opportunity. So she has this gratitude tea, just the title alone, but anyway. So she has gratitude tea, and she brings all the women together, and she wants to have a music showcase.
Weird idea to me. I thought when I even heard it out of his mouth, it was like, but they've been there, done that. I mean, when you do a showcase, it's not the same as a show. Even if it was like a private show, it's just showcase is very like amateur. I'm just beginning. I'm just trying to get into this industry, and I don't think the women want to take that far of a step back and have to deal with that, as they already know they're newcomers, but they have to pull from their old selves and bring it and reform and rejuvenate it.
Yeah, and all the women brought up a good...
they didn't like it.
Yeah, they didn't like it. They absolutely didn't like the fact that it was a showcase, because when you think of a showcase, you think of a new artist. You know, that's like you. That's like you. You know, you kind of are a singer. That's you all of a sudden having a showcase, trying to let people know who you are and that you're trying to be a singer. Versus these women, they all have hits. Whether if they were in a group or if they sang, whatever the fact may be, they all have had platinum records. So that's just a showcase.
I think at this point in level in their career, just because of the history that they have and the caliber of talent that's upon this show right now, it shouldn't be a showcase. Everything should kind of be more directed toward a concert. It's a new relaunching of, you know, Selena's music, Monifah, R&B Divas. And I think that's what they failed to realize, is that, hey, we're going to do a showcase, but it's not like, okay, well, Selena's coming out with a brand new album, Monifah's coming out with a brand new album, Keke's coming out with a brand new album, this is her EP, and this is how we're going to market it. Now they kind of look at people as if like, hey, I'm a new talent, have nobody know who I am, and then I'm a showcase for free. No, these are caliber women, and they should look at things from a business perspective, saying that, you know what, I'm here to make money. I'm here to basically make a stand and reignite my career, and this is what I want to do. Even with DJ Biz Markie, this is what I want. What's his name? Did I say it wrong?
Yeah. Chubb Rock.
Biz
Markie is.
I'm like,
you got what I...
My bad. But even with Chubb Rock, you know, him being a DJ, okay, cool. This is what you do. Play their music so that people, so it can make them more relevant. But when you kind of say, oh, it's like reuniting.
I think that's because she came in a position of, you know, needing help. And when you're in a situation where you've been there, done that, and then you're trying to do something again, people are going to all of a sudden have an opinion. And I didn't think she necessarily had to go with his opinion of wanting to do the showcase. I think more so she should have took that as an opportunity to say, no, this is what we should be doing, because she wants to make money and she needs to make an opportunity.
I think
Showcases is an opportunity.
I think Angie's problem is she wants to try and be house mother. She wants to be in control, and she wants to bring an idea to him. I think that she should have executed it a little bit better, and rather than do a showcase, said, you know, hey, who has new music out? Then raise your hand. Well, I got new cuts. Then why don't you put together a concert and make some money? I think she should have just executed it better, me personally.
And I agree with you also, because when you have women of that caliber, it's just about the opportunity. It's not about, man, I'm trying to sell myself as an individual. But no, I'm selling each and every single one of these women as like successful individuals who have new music. And you know what? Y'all should be like pleased because they're coming out with new music. And here it is, like you said, it's a concert.
And the last thing that I want to discuss on this gratitude tea was her Mother Stone. And so she wanted to close out with singing Donald Lawrence's Encourage Yourself.
You know, some things should just be left alone. And I just
that was not encouraging.
Not at all. Not at all.
But I give props to Latavia because she got in there and she sang her little part. But it's like, Angie, stop with the whole kumbaya moments. Like, let it go. And
I think she's not the right fit to manage all these women.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's the bigger problem is that she want to be like, okay, cool, like be my friend, let's all be together. Instead of being a businesswoman or a business person in the music industry, because she has the history. Okay, this is what we're going to do, and this is what the roadmap of success. But she's like, oh, I just want everybody to get along and don't argue for the moment and
follow my lead.
That's how life is. But no, she just basically put her foot down and be like, if we really want to be successful and you want your music out there, this is the Angie Stone way. X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D equals the rest of the alphabet.
And I don't think that's going to work for these women. And I think even at one point after she mentioned the showcase, they said, why don't we just say hi, everybody kumbaya, separate, think about different ideas, come together, and then let's do it as a group. And I think there's a sense of desperation in wanting to be the leader and be the person in charge of what's going on with Angie.
I think she's the wrong person for this group.
Absolutely. Let's go into Monifah and Keke. So now, Keke feels a certain way because they haven't spoke since the season 2 finale when Monifah announced to them that she was engaged with Therese, and then all hell broke loose, and it was just a mess. We discussed that in last year's recap, so there's no need to backtrack.
Yeah.
But Keke feels a certain way about it, and she feels that she's been acting indifferent toward her. What are your thoughts on this Monifah Keke thing?
I mean, I agree, because you have to look at, if you're my best friend, we talk just every other day.
Well, not best friends, but they're close, right?
But we're close, but
Yeah.
you'll talk to me like every other day or every week to not speaking to me for like several months. I'm going to feel a certain way because, first of all, I'm going to feel like, what did I do to you to make you like draw back from me? Then all of a sudden, I'm going to question myself. Is it because you got engaged, or is it because of something I said, or whatever? Granted, Keke, everybody knows Keke. She's a loud outburst type person. She has real, her personality is different than everyone else. But you have to take what she says as like a grain of salt. Okay, she said that, let it go. I'll address it later.
Now, what about Monifah saying that it's a two-way street? Because it's a two-way street, and just as I've sent you text messages, like it seems like the text messages are, hey, what's up? Nothing. What are you doing? Chilling.
Yeah.
You know, it's those very bland text messages
But I
that
just
they
think
have
it's
towards
the
each other.
concept of like a lot of times that, and I hate to say this and trying to be sexist or whatever, where it's more of an emotional affection with women, where they kind of perceive things like totally different. You know what I mean? Whereas that you can say one thing and they take it like, oh, well, I can't believe she said this, or a misinterpretation of text. And I think text is the worst type of communication when you're trying to really relate to somebody, even if it's your best friend or even a stranger, because a lot of times people take it in the wrong way. That's why they gave us phone. Pick up the phone. Let me hear your voice. Let me see what's going on. And I can kind of judge the situation by your tone and your voice. And I think that's what kind of happened with Monifah and Keke, to where that Keke feels like, hey, Monifah's not talking to me right now. And Monifah's just like, well, we really have nothing to talk about because we're not recording the show anymore.
Which I think is, it says a statement of how Keke is really kind of immature and handling a lot of her situations of altercations.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like it just doesn't allow for you to have any kind of breakthrough or any kind of common ground to be able to talk. I think with Monifah and her relationship, maybe, I mean, sometimes I have friends that I thought we were closer than what we were, and we all of a sudden broke apart and I couldn't get in contact with them. But handling things like an adult allows for you to get clarity and information.
Yeah.
With the way she handled herself with Monifah, it's like she said, this is how I talk to my brothers and stuff like that. And she was like, I'm not your brother. I'm a grown woman who's not related to you by one.
But hold that thought, because that's episode 2. But now let's just go stand back on episode 1. Monifah says that, you know, she's now vegan, she's doing cleansing, she's not trying to be into that whole negative energy. My only problem with Monifah is if you feel that way or if you made some changes, then you need to let people know that you made changes. Just a simple, hey, you know what, you know, I'm engaged now, I feel a certain way, or I'm in a different space. She needs to say something, period, end of the story. Or what she also could have done is, now, on the flip of that, Keke did kind of ruin Monifah's announcement during the season 2 finale. And so Monifah now could potentially feel that, well, if Keke hasn't done any kind of apologizing or say, you know, my bad, girl. So it's 50-50 for me. I can go either way with it.
I mean, I agree on that, but a lot of times I just think that a lot of people just kind of take things and hold on to it instead of moving past it. And I think that's a lot what happened with Monifah because of season 2, and because this is the thing. If I know that, you know, Black kind of blurts out certain things, or, you know, I feel like, you know, that's just his personality, I would overlook it and then I will address it later, because right now I'm having my moment, I'm being happy, and I'll move past it. But I just think what it is, she just kind of took it like to a level of, oh, we really haven't talked to season 2, and I'm feeling a certain way about how you felt on season 2 about the engagement. And I think she kind of took it real personal instead of like pulling her to the side. I was like, let's have a conversation about my feelings and what's really going on.
Well, that's a good way to transition into the whole engagement party. So Selena has a conversation with Monifah and tells her that she wants to throw an engagement party. Well, for me, it was referenced that they haven't seen each other in 9 months. Why throw, I mean, I get for the sake of TV, but 9 months, isn't it kind of late for an engagement party?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
To me personally, I think it is what it is. I just think it's one of those situations. Oh, we're coming back to our first episode, and it's like, we're doing you an engagement party. What has happened throughout the time from season 1 to season 2 that we have to throw you an engagement party now? I think it's just bad planning, bad writing on whoever on TVOne overall, because like it should be something more exciting to where it's like, you know what, they should have came back with like, this is the wedding. This is where we're getting married at. And that's what the first episode is about, and how much everybody has grown over the past 9 months. What is like, and again, it's like almost like a reunion of this is my success over the past 9 months. Not just like, oh, well, we have an engagement party and Keke's acting out. To me, I felt like we're going back to the same season 2 to where it's that it's the same drama, same nitpicking. Like have either one of these women grown up at all to be successful?
Now, what do you guys think about the engagement party? So the engagement party seemed to go off with without a hitch.
It was boring.
Well, it was boring, but it was boring. They pretty much all arrived.
There's no cake,
there was
no
no
balloon, nothing at all, no drinks. It's like, oh, here we go, and
then they were all just sitting on a very, you know, oval shaped couch, and they were just all sitting there. Where were the other guests? Where were where were Monifah's friends?
Yeah.
With the social skills at all, everybody.
Where
just
was the boys
there.
from Heavy D? You know, like where was other people at?
Like seriously, it's your happy moment of your life, and you're just sitting. Just like I'm sitting beside you, like, well, you know, Keke is acting out. That was the most excitement of the whole engagement party was Keke.
Now, let's talk about Keke and her blurts. So everything seemed to be going nice, smooth, and boring. Then Keke throws the comment, which I don't have my original notes, so I can't remember exactly what Keke said, but everything was very, very monotone.
Was it the Liar Lake of Fire or
yes.
something? It was funny and strange and weird and awkward.
And it was Keke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then she tried. Well, I guess we'll get to the fact that it's a joke, but that's crazy.
And then so Monifah being I guess she's a newborn soul, she was like, what the F you talking about? Like, you know, really, you already turned up at the last one. And then Keke goes into the confrontation when the two of them was like, well, I just want to know what I did to you. I just want to know what I did with you. Now, I can see from, I'm gonna jump both sides back and forth throughout tonight's
That's gonna be interesting.
yeah, but I can see why Keke was fed up, because for me, if I feel a certain way and I'm not getting answers, I'm going to go after you until you give me those answers.
Yeah,
because
but it's
I
kind
feel
of
like
a time and place there.
I know that, but I'm just saying that, like, the outburst was inappropriate.
Very.
But if she felt a certain way, she wanted an answer.
It would have been better for her to have come if it was that needed to be talked about. It would have been better for her to come in. Everybody's there. It's cool. Slide to slide. Monifah, can I talk to you? Even if the cameras were to go, just to separate them from it being in front of everybody. She more was like a little kid that had a temper tantrum.
In a perfect world, that would happen, but this is reality TV, so
Yeah.
We
it's
don't
not
act
gonna happen that
grown
way
in this
because you know
business.
why?
But Keke did try to confront Monifah at that gratitude tea and ask her, well, hey, you know.
Yeah.
So she did.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah. So she did.
But she should have went off there and
Yeah.
if it was gonna be something to make a stand. But when you're in like a public setting and it's an actual event or engagement, and not to mention, so happens this Monifah's situation that's being celebrated.
Yeah.
So it's like everything was stacked up for that to be the awkwardest moment to take a stand and want to make it a big explosion.
That was the height of the episode.
Like even her husband wasn't ready for that. He was somewhere chilling because it took him a while to even get into the picture.
yeah, because he always come around and be like, yo, let me go save Keke. Like, hold on.
When Keke confronted Monifah and she threw the little headbutt in there.
I don't think that was
I don't think it was a headbutt.
I think that was just ghetto talk.
I think it
and
was just more
sometimes
like,
you talk like
you know how you move your head like, yeah, and I'm just saying this right here.
Yeah.
And I just think that they just kind of over-exaggerate the situation. Because a headbutt is just like more
bam.
like, bam,
Okay.
I got you.
She would have headbutted her. if she did.
Maybe it wasn't the headbutts, but it's one thing but her head was down and she did the whole.
But a lot of times people talk with their head down because the fact that one is that they either ashamed of what they're saying or they're not confident in what they're saying.
Oh,
and
no, I
they
think she was getting at it with
I mean,
it.
and really, it's like when you kind of talk with your head down, it's like I'm talking at you, you know, because a lot of times when you talk to people face to face, people are more intimidated. So when you talk with your head down, I want you to hear what I'm saying, but I'm not trying to be threatening to you. And I think that's what that situation was with Keke versus like, okay, cool, I'm in your face and I'm pointing at you. That's more of a threatening metaphor, like mannerism versus like, okay, cool, I'm talking at you. I want you to understand what I'm saying. I don't think it was a headbutt at all.
Okay.
And again, it's women, so it's like everything is like exaggerated times 10. So it's like, you know what? I just headbutted her and I didn't even touch her.
And so, do you think that Keke was playing? Because after that, they pulled her to the side and she said basically that she was playing and that everyone knows that, you know, that's just her personality. Do you think she was playing?
I think it's a cop-out. I think she knew what she was doing from the very start. She had the fair warning when Selena came over. It was like, please don't act up. The husband was like, don't act up. Everybody was like, we know you in this situation, you mad, you got these things, but don't act up. The first thing she did was the eye twirl, I'm crazy eye thing.
Yeah.
And then went from there to getting big and boisterous. I just... and then to say that was a joke, there was no hee-hees, there was no laugh, there's a girl, I'm just playing, there's no breakout of nothing of it. It was strictly say what I said, and then when everybody's going crazy, I'm pretending like I don't know what's going on, and I'm like, can't nobody take a joke.
But you know what? That's just Keke though. No matter what, that's just her personality where she like start something and I'm gonna back away and let the fight fester.
I don't think that is. I don't think that is Keke. I think she was lying through her freaking teeth.
Yep.
I think it was a cop out.
Yeah, but of course, because she's embarrassed.
Yeah, I don't
think she was embarrassed. She just didn't want to own up to the fact that she was doing what she was doing.
But I think the whole thing was that she wanted to say what she had to say, but she didn't really think it was going to escalate to that point. And I think that's what it was, is that, yeah, she said what she said about the lake and the fire, but it was just more or less like, I'm going to say it.
Eat my Christian
and
ass.
you know what it means, and then if I'm able to walk away from it, I'll walk away from it. But because everybody kept saying, initiated and throwing like fuel on a fire. It was just like, oh, I can't believe he acted like this. And she was just kind of like, okay, well, you know, I feel a certain way, but overall, I'm okay.
I think I know why Keke is acting that way. I feel that, you know, in season 1, Keke didn't have girlfriends. Her husband was her best friend.
Yeah.
And now that she's allowed herself to step away from her husband, now she has these divas as her friends. Now it's kind of like a crazy person where it's like, you know, now you're my friend. No, you're going to be my friend.
And you gonna take this.
I mean, I kind of understand what you're saying, though, because, like, when you kind of, like, break away from, like, your friends to introduce yourself to new friends and trusting this person, believing this person, and then all of a sudden the person kind of takes that away from you, you kind of feel a certain way. And she just really kind of just state how she felt because, you know, she really trusts and she believed in Monifah. And, like, yo, you're my friend. I'm going to talk to you. And a lot of times people do this a lot when they get in relationships and stuff. They're like your best friend until they get in a relationship. And when they get in a relationship, it's like, oh, they don't even know who you are. And you're like, yo, like, what happened? Like, we used to hang out. You used to call me. We used to go kick it. All of a sudden, you get in a relationship, like, you act like you don't know me.
Well, I'll say in Keke's situation, I'm sure they was like, oh, cool, let's be friends. And you be friends with her, and then you find out she crazy and she talk a lot of crap to you, and she always doing all this stuff. And you realize, wait, I'm not your husband. I ain't dealing with this. So then you got a weird situation.
But at the same time, she's so entertaining to me.
Yeah, on the outside looking in, but sitting next to her dealing with that, that's a weird friendship. She's like a friend bully. Like, as long as I can beat you up and poke at you and we cool, you should be able to do it because we friends.
Well, and speaking of friends, we feel that you guys are our friends because you guys are always watching and tuning in. So we want to encourage you guys to continue to go on iTunes and please download, rate, and subscribe. Tell a friend. And also, don't forget about Chasing Maria on Oxygen every day, Tuesday at 10 o'clock. It's a great reality show. We watch it, and it's just...
Every now and then we own it.
Yeah. So
it's kind of pop up.
Yeah, it's really cool. You guys can check it on Oxygen, and I also believe that it's also on Bravo as well. And then you can also get it on iTunes, Amazon, or on demand. So please check out Chasing Maria every Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Catch it.
All right, so now let's go into episode 2 of R&B Divas. So last night we had Selena. Well, let's talk about Michel'le. So Michel'le and her 4-year-old son and her, I don't want to say baby daddy, but her son's father, Music Socha.
That's a better description. If you're in your son's life, you're your son's father.
But I could have swore they were dating for the longest, but they were introduced as he's just the father. I've always thought that they were dating.
I never even knew it. And the
you know, I always
son's
keep mine
fairly
to the
young,
streets.
so I would imagine they would have been had a baby. He'd probably be in high school. But for the son to be so young, it was what?
Like 4 years old.
I want to say that I recall they've been dating for like maybe the past 6 years.
Oh, you got pregnant early.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
I mean, hey, things happen, okay? Things happen. Surprising.
But anyway,
You know what I'm saying?
Music Socha, he's an R&B artist and a great singer in his own right. And so Michel'le revealed that her son, who's 4 years old, is suffering with autism. What do you guys think? I mean, it was mentioned.
I mean, he seems like a very healthy boy. I don't think it's something that should be focused on other than awareness and knowing how to deal with the child, because I see a very healthy, loving relationship, and I hate to see just because no family is perfect and everybody has somebody in their family that needs caring for. So the major fact is that the love and unity is pure and very strong, and that you see a very happy kid, and though he has a situation and his mom is there for him, his dad is there for him, he doesn't have to be looked at as a handicap or going through something. I like the fact that he seems like, very fine and normal and happy.
Yeah.
My thing is, I hope this is not the presence of her story throughout the whole season 3, to where that it's like she's fighting her kid and Music Socha feel a certain way, because a lot of time when you kind of bring the significant other in these shows, because it always ends up that it's conflict between the two. And I hope that he's supportive of what's going on. He's supportive of her career. He's supportive of her decision making, of what type of treatment to get the kid. And that's what I would like to see from the episode. But it is reality TV, so we really don't know how much he's gonna play into the whole entire season. But it's always good to kind of see, like, you know what, two people together, they're raising the kids and they're supporting the same cause.
Well, we did see another scene with Michel'le, with her in the studio with Music Soul Child, and so it appears that Michel'le is embarking on a solo album.
Yes.
Now, I do recall that she was managed by Faith Evans at some point, and she was embarking on a solo career. I'm not sure what happened, but she's trying to revamp her image, and she's trying to go all out. The little song that we heard sound cool to me. So, you know, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, again, she's new to the season. I think overall, it just really like see how she progressed, not only with her music career, how she progressed with everyone else in the show itself.
So now let's go into Selena. So Selena has 2 new deals. You want to talk about that, Mr. Alfred?
BMG and Sony Red.
Yeah.
2 opportunities, and she met with Wayne Williams.
Yeah.
Who found R. Kelly and Mystical.
And so Wayne. So Wayne.
I was trying to say something about R.
so
Kelly,
you
but
know.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Good old R.
Black Panties is a good album.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
She has the option of either going with Sony or with R. Kelly's new label called, I think, Astronaut. What was it called? I think
Astronaut.
Yeah, Astronaut. And so I was watching it with someone, and someone was like, the obvious choice would obviously to be R. Kelly. I don't think so. I think Sony would be the better choice. What do you think?
I think it depends on the situation. Like, from what I hear, R. Kelly is really hands-on with the artists that he works with. I mean, he's a lyrical genius as far as songs go. And, I mean, sometimes you need that family atmosphere. But like I said, Sony may be, you know, a good a go-to because it is a foundation that's been around for so long.
Right, and I feel that they would have the financial backing. R. Kelly will be able to, you know, give some jams or some cuts, but will R. Kelly's new record label be able to push, especially with the fact that R is on tour? Well, actually, this was shot prior to, but, you know, R. Kelly just released his CD, I think last year or early this year, and he's on tour right now. So how much time does R. Kelly have to devote his time to Selena's album? You know what I'm saying?
That will hopefully, unfortunately, she only has the one song situation going on, and she needs a lot of music. But then you would hope that the experience and the tenure that she's had in her career would apply. And hopefully she knows where she wants to kind of go. You know what I mean? Yay, everybody needs help, but at this point in her career, she should know who she is overall to get most of the work done. And R. Kelly should only have to download stuff, listen to it, send stuff back, if anything, from on tour.
This is the thing that between Sony and R. Kelly, so you have to think about what type of crowd Sony is going to promote her to, because one, you have to look at the age factor and you got to look at her history overall. I think Sony is a bad deal only because of the fact that what Sony has to provide for her.
I'm going to totally flip that, and I'm going to totally agree with you. I think R. Kelly would be the best market because Sony may try to put her into a market that doesn't really fit her. She's basically, if you listen to the stations out here in LA, she's KGLH 102.3 FM, or she's in the Bay, she's KBLX. She's for that adult contemporary, like Power 106 and Kiss is not going to play Selena Johnson unless
she got 2 Chainz.
Somebody.
And that's the thing you have to also look at, and that's what I said with R. Kelly, because R. Kelly is still releasing albums. He's still doing tours. He's still signing. Because what does that mean?
He made himself timeless.
As long as he's doing tours, Selena has an opportunity to grow her career and grow her fan base. Sony's not going to provide that because what Sony has to do, Sony has to remarket her and rebrand her to a specific market because she hasn't been in the industry and been relevant in the industry for several years, probably a decade now. But with R. Kelly, he has that already to where, you know what, I have Selena Johnson coming out. She basically opened up for me, and she's the big headline. So what that ended up doing is that she ended up gaining R. Kelly fans by doing his show, and eventually 2 years from now doing her own shows.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Selena's sister. So there was a conversation that Selena had with her sister about it really was
real tragic and sad.
And so Seleisha had a moment where she felt like she didn't want to be in the entertainment industry. She didn't want to do any managing. and she was 7 months pregnant, and during her pregnancy, the baby stopped breathing. So she had to give birth to the baby, although the baby was not alive. And then while she was having labor and going through what she was going through, she had to do things for her sister. She had to work on album release, probably the album that she did with Music Soul Child. And so she had to work while she was going through that. And I mean, I cannot imagine what she was going through to be able to have to deliver an unborn baby inside of her.
This is my thing. It's very tragic that she had to go through that, but a lot of times when you're a manager and you have artists, you have assistants. So what you can't do, your assistant is able to manage that with the artist and let them know that, you know what, this is what I need to do. I'm out of the office for the next couple weeks. This is what I need you to do, and you check in with that, and then everything kind of runs. I feel bad that she lost the baby, but overall, the way she's like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that for you. That's why you have people
she wasn't
helping
prepared.
you out.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Another situation.
Hand raise. I don't believe Selena Johnson makes this is I'm not dissing Selena. I don't believe she has enough money to be able to have her sister as a manager and then have an assistant. I mean,
but overall, you have to look at that. She's talking about album release part. If it's who album was it? Music Soul Child, right?
Yeah, I believe it was her.
Music Soul Child album. So primarily, his people would take care of that.
No, I think didn't they do a dual album, right? Am I right?
See, they couldn't do an album because she only had one song. She only had one song right now. So basically, she's probably was featured on several tracks of Music Soul Child album. So primarily, she's not doing the marketing and the promotion and the album release party. Yeah, she might be doing the publicity for Selena so she can have like extra shots and extra publicity. But overall, it's like he's basically promoting the album and he's basically taking care of all of that. For her to be like, well, you know, I'm delivering a baby and it's an album release party. Yes, cool, but again,
get help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line, what it is. She's not relevant or pertinent enough in the industry right now with one song to where you feel like, oh, well, you can pretty much have a baby and still live your life because she's not on tour. She's not doing photo shoots. She's not doing album release parties. She doesn't have an EP at all. So overall, like, what you're saying right now, I feel sorry for you, but it's not relevant.
They're gonna give it to you on Twitter.
I don't care, but it's the truth though, because I deal with people in the music industry all the time, and I know how it works, and I work with artists. I know how album release parties are. Again, if it's not my album that I'm releasing, if I'm featured on Black's album, you know, it's his people who's basically promoting the album release party. I'm just basically focusing on like, okay, cool. Larice people's gonna be there. He's got publicity, and I'm like 25% of the actual album release party.
I just think it goes to show, once you get in the industry and you believe this is what you want to do for the rest of your life, you got to think of it holistically. You got to see unfortunate situations coming. Not like, oh, stuff is happening, because, I mean, you can't tell the future, but you should set up your company or your whole image or your whole process to have functions and relationships that can come in, because it's not necessary. I mean, maybe before that happened, she could handle everything by herself and everything was rocking cool. But at the same time, with all this time that she's been in the industry, I'm sure she's met other managers or other people that if something like that were to have gone down, that they should have been able to reach out to people.
Exactly.
But if you didn't do the homework that it takes to make a successful product of your career, because when it comes to our talent, being actors or singers or dancers or whatever, it's something that can easily go away at a drop of a hat.
And the fact, I'm gonna jump on you guys' side just for a second. And the fact that they have to resort to Mama Johnson.
Oh, Lord, it's a hard day.
Mama Johnson. Wait. They was like, Mama, you don't even do the computer. Yes, I do. I watch all the messages on Facebook.
Like seriously, YouTubes, like what is like literally like you have, and that's one of the things that you have to realize, that when you have family and friends working for you, you're not gonna basically get the attention or the support that you need, because you know why? They have a separate life too. When you're not paying somebody and people kind of working for you as a favor, you're not gonna basically get what you need out of life. And you can't really have high expectation of a person because, again, her sister having a baby, she's 7 months pregnant. I would have had an assistant working along with me because at the end of the day, I'm going to be out of the office. I'm not going to be able to carry this business on for like, after I have the baby for like 2 months because I want to be at home with my kid. So I have an assistant. And so with Selena and her career, again, she has one song. She's not dropping an album. She's not dropping an EP. She has one song.
But let me say this. With the emergence of her appearing on R&B Divas, she probably has a lot of concert spots where she's able to travel, club dates. She's able to tour and make her money and capitalize off the fact that she has, that she's back in the limelight to a specific market.
This is the thing, though. I agree with you on that, but overall, though, this is season 3. Out of 3 seasons, how many songs have you made? Which is basically mean you've been recording for 3 years. So where's your music? And you're trying to break back into the music industry. How serious do you take your career? Not trying to say anything bad about Selena, but it's all about, okay, cool. As a manager, as an artist, as a producer, as a performer, I'm doing something for 3 years. I'm going to have more than one song to go to a record label and be like, you know what? I only have one song. What should I do?
I agree. I feel like all of the ladies should have put out something by now, even put out two projects, because the reality is when you're on a reality show, sometimes you can get producers to come on and do the music because you're getting exposure. Or you can pay them on the back end with a point, but that's a little too much, and some of you guys may not want to hear that. So let's go into Monifah. So there was a couple things that was highlighted for Monifah, and so the first thing was Monifah and Therese. They want to start planning the wedding. So Therese said that they wanted it to be warm climate friendly, and a city that accepts
I guess the marriage.
And so, but I think we saw on the preview for the season itself, it looks like they're gonna get married in like Hawaii or something. So somewhere. So so that was that. And then Monifah wants to have liposuction.
This is my thing about liposuction, and this come from my perception of being a personal trainer for so many years. Liposuction, really, it takes around about 6 to 8 weeks to recover. Why not take that time to really work on your body for 6 to 8 weeks? For somebody who hasn't worked out and who hasn't trained, you can lose a good 15 pounds and be in better shape than you would with liposuction. Because with liposuction, you still have to train your body, work out, and tone the muscles in your body. You're taking away fat, but you still have muscle that's underdeveloped. Give me the money. Like, seriously, give me the money that's going to cost you to pay someone to do liposuction for you and the 6 to 8 weeks of pain that you're going to be in. And I promise you, I can get you 20 pounds lighter in a better shape, and you can have the curves that you want. I think that it's, with her deciding to go liposuction, I think it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the trainer, her name was Donna Richardson. They were at some kind of walk.
Cows Walk.
They were at a walkathon for Tamika Raymond, who is the ex-wife of Usher Raymond, and she wasn't featured. But
it was kind of weird.
It was kind of weird. She wasn't featured, but it was referenced that it was for her. It was for a charity. Tamika lost a son a couple years ago, but and so that's when Monifah revealed it. I agree with you. I agree with you also, Larice, that I feel surgery is the easy way out. And the way that she sweet talked Therese, because Therese seemed like she wasn't into it too. She was like, but I want to look good for the wedding. Okay, well, if you're going to get married in 5-6 months from now, go exercise.
It's cheaper to pay a trainer and have a regular eating routine. You know what it is? It's the fact that you have to be accountable for yourself to lose this weight. Yeah. And that's why a lot of times people have liposuction, because they're not accountable anymore. It's like, oh, I can go here, have a surgery, be in pain for like 6 to 8 weeks, and I'm okay. But again, you have to be accountable for the workout after the surgery because, again, you have to tone your muscles.
Well, I'll just say this. I'll jump on the other side because I've never had weight problems.
Be like, thanks, man.
I've never had weight problems, so I don't know what it feels like to have excess weight. And so for for a lot of people, they feel that it's the best way to do it because maybe they can't exercise or maybe it's too much pain to walk or so. I'm just saying in defense for people who do plastic surgery and who get liposuction. I don't know what it feels like to have that much weight on them, but I sometimes can look and see the pain that people endure just as they're walking. So I'm just saying.
But my thing from a professional perspective, and like I said, I've done training probably like 8 years plus, is that liposuction takes away the fat in your body. But even after liposuction, you have to heal. But then you have to also develop the muscle in your body. So you still have to go through the same routine of going to the gym, working out, basically putting yourself on a specific eating plan. But the thing about liposuction is, even though you get liposuction around your waist, fat comes back in other areas of your body. That's what people don't understand. Like, you get liposuction in your waist, but then you can get fat deposit in your legs. You can get fat deposit in your cheeks. You get fat deposit in your back. And then you just feel like, what happened to me after like 5 years? You're like, man, I feel like I gained all the fat back, but my midsection is small, but I got extra fat in my back. Versus going to the gym and let's get you on a workout routine, get you on a specific diet. If you're going to spend $5,000 to $8,000 on a liposuction surgery, spend the $5,000, $8,000 on a trainer where you can have this life. It becomes a lifestyle.
That's very true.
Is what it is.
And the fact that she's going vegan. I also feel that it's too quick. If you are just now going vegan, if you're just now going on this whole new way of living, like, you know, for me, I went gluten-free and I lost even more weight when I went gluten-free because I wasn't eating all the wheat, I wasn't eating all the breads and stuff, and I immediately lost more weight. So when you adapt and your body goes on, you know, changes, you're naturally going to lose weight. So I just feel like it's too fast. But you know,
weight loss is 80% of it is the diet that you eat on a day-to-day basis, and the amount of calories and the food that you consume. 20% is between vitamins and supplements and your workout. So 80% is change your eating habits.
Yeah,
that's it.
What do you guys think about? We have 2 more things to go over. So Selena and Keke had a meeting, and Selena basically gave Keke the business.
I think the whole when she said Keke headbutted her, and I don't think it was a headbutt. And again, I just think the super exaggeration of what people perceive versus like, okay, cool. Instead of asking the question like, Keke, were you really trying to headbutt Monifah? And she was like, no, let it go and move on.
But what did you think about the fact that Keke was completely oblivious to her head, even in the direction of Monifah's space?
I don't think she was in a caring position the whole time. It was all about how she felt and getting her words out and her emotion out, despite the fact that she could. Like I said, I think she was just lying about the situation, knowing that she was messing it up and being childish. But I think it's even more obvious that if she's gonna choose the child route, it's hard coming at a child like a child. And I think in a lot of situations, you know, I don't even think there was no need. As long as she didn't headbutt her, the main thing was to get them to a point where she couldn't act up anymore. And I think Selena and all the other girls get drawn up into it, and it even spills over to the new girls when they get together and talk. It's like Michel'le talking about there's a little bitch inside of her. I say, no, I was hoping there would be a nice girl, but damn it.
But I think the whole thing, what it is, a lot of time when people confront other people, they focus on the negative. They focus on the negative and versus like a solution, how to make the situation better. And I think that's what really kind of hurts a lot of time when confrontations happens. Like, oh, well, you did this, you did that. Start pointing the finger. But let's see, like, you know what, Keke, let's see how can we resolve this. What's gonna make this situation better for you?
I don't know. For me, with it being 3 seasons.
That's too old in the game for this.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
but that's just who she is, though.
But for me, that's just not acceptable. It's not acceptable that somebody should get a pass because that's just how they are.
It's not a pass.
Because then that's like looking at Donald Sterling and being like, it's just because that's how he is.
But it is just how he is.
You choose your words. You choose how you feel about things. You choose how you deal with people. And I think, not to go that extreme, but in Keke's situation, despite this is who I am, there becomes a maturity and wisdom that goes by, this is how I act, this is what happens. And this is how I act, this is what happens. When is that going to become, I want things to be better? And she seems like she wants it, but she wants it her way.
But exactly, she wanted her way. But the whole thing is like, this is how she is. But at the same time, you have to set her straight. But like, Keke, you know what, you was wrong for this, that, and other, and this is how I felt. So she can understand how you felt, not versus like, okay, well, let me show you what you did wrong. Monifah should have been the only person that told her, like, you know what, Keke, this is what you did wrong. If you feel a certain way, you should address it to me. But Selena coming to her like, oh, you headbutted, you almost headbutted her. It's not Selena's place.
Well, that is true. I agree. It wasn't Selena's place, but Monifah and Keke did talk again, and the conversation seemed pointless. Monifah basically just said,
she blew it off.
She blew it off and said, you know, you're in a space where I'm not sure if I can even invite you to my.
And I think that was the most immature thing about her, because she should have addressed the issue and handled the situation there. Because now what it is that Keke feel a certain way, like, oh, Monifah don't want me to be there. Maybe she don't want to be my friend. And Monifah feel a certain way, is like, I don't know what's happening with Keke, because I don't know how Keke's gonna happen. Like, you know what, Keke, this is what we're gonna nip it in the bud. We're gonna be open and honest about everything, and that's just how it is. And that's what happened with this whole entire show, is that nobody's open and honest with each other. And they say, oh well, we let stuff happen and it slides, and that's it.
Do you think that if Monifah really tells Keke how she feels, that Keke's going to listen or accept it, or do you think Keke's gonna go off? Because there are some people that no matter what you say or do, or how you try to convey your feelings, they're going to take it a certain way, and it's almost pointless.
But I was always taught that it's better to be open and honest with someone than to sit and try to sugarcoat something. And no matter if she's like, whether Keke receive it in a negative way or a positive way, or just receive it in her own way. Again, Monifah's honest about, okay, cool, Keke, this is what it is. The bottom line, seriously, and like, you can convey. And the thing about it is, everybody yells on this show.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have to yell to get your point across, because like, when you yelling at somebody and somebody else ain't yelling back at you, you're the fool. And then Monifah tell her in a way like, you know what, this is what a Keke, if you want to talk to me, you're going to have to stop yelling, and let's be respectful of each other. No matter how mad you get, this is the bottom line. And I think Keke would listen to that, because again, it's like a child. A child sitting there screaming all the time, and it's like, okay, well, they don't understand when they're screaming and stuff, or you're screaming at them. They basically blocks you out. And it's like, overall, like, I have to talk to you in a sense of, you know what, this is the bottom line. And that's, I hate to say it, but this is how they might have to treat her. And it's just like, you know what, like, I can't talk to you unless you really talk to me like a regular person. I'm sorry, but that's just
I'm just laughing. I'm laughing at how you at how you said child.
It's the truth though, because like, a lot of times when you start yelling at kids turn off and they don't listen to you. And that's probably what it is with Keke, because the fact that you're yelling at her and she feel like she's more superb than everybody else, so she stopped listening.
Yeah.
But when you talk to her in a sense like, you know, we're gonna talk like an adult. Don't yell at me and I won't yell at you. No matter how angry you get, nobody yells in this conversation right now. And I think she will basically receive it more so than like, okay, it's a yelling match.
Well, Keke, the last thing that we're going to do before we wrap up, Keke was having a conversation with her brother saying that, you know, the first thing I had thought, okay, maybe she's pregnant. So Keke mentioned to her brother how sometimes she throws up, she doesn't feel well. She has probably, yeah.
She said, you're the guy in me and I'm the girl in you. Know?
I was going to get to that. That was hilarious.
Okay, comedy, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Not me to cut you off, but I just had to say it.
So her brother asked, well, are you pregnant? Now, Keke Wyatt already has 6 children.
Didn't she already say she wanted one more the last season?
Probably.
That was the point.
And so I think I think she's probably pregnant.
Yeah.
And that's probably why because she even told Latavia, she was like, you know, I'm emotional, I'm a sissy girl.
Yeah.
And so, because she's cried in numerous times in both of these episodes. I think Keke's pregnant, but we can talk about that during the predictions. Do you guys have anything else?
This is my thing. You're a woman with 6 kids. You don't know when you're pregnant?
Yes.
That's
She
the thing.
should already know.
You should already know. You went through the 6th time prior. Like, you know what? I think I'm pregnant. I think I need to take a test.
When I get the hiccups, I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
I thought that too. I think Keke knows she's pregnant, but I think she's playing for the camera. Me personally, I agree. On baby number 7, absolutely know when you're pregnant.
First of all, baby number 6, I'm like, baby, do you have any more kids? No, I don't have no kids. Okay, cool. On this delivery method, let's get them burn, clip, tied, whatever. We're not having no more kids.
Wait, as a matter of fact, when we met Keke, that was child number 5, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they too.
Exactly.
Wow.
You gotta stop sometime.
Yeah.
And
Oh well, let's go into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, who wants to start first?
I think there's gonna be more drama between Keke and Monifah because the issue is not even resolved, and I think it's really gonna cause an issue between Selena because she's kind of like she's almost like the voice of reason right now amongst everybody.
I think Angie Stone hopefully gets chopped off of her leadership block and becomes a team player. Hopefully, I don't know if that's a real prediction. That's a wannabe prediction. And then I think Keke's pregnant. I think that Michel'le and Latavia are gonna get into something because I don't see them being able to handle an argument with any of the other women.
I think if anything goes down, I think the two of them will have each other's back. You know, they came out around the same time. They probably knew each other. So I think if anything goes down, it'll be those two defending against the old dolls. I definitely think Keke's pregnant, and there's something next week that we'll see with Angie Stone's daughter, which ironically she was missing from last night's episode. But next week we see Angie and her daughter, and there's rift between Angie and her daughter. So that should be pretty interesting for somebody to call Angie out on
Her bush.
Yeah.
Especially when she's trying to be so motherly to everybody
Right.
else.
Don't they look alike?
Right. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And then she calls out Latavia, questioning her about is she comfortable enough to be singing solo. But let's keep it real. Latavia was not a lead singer. She didn't lead.
I was like, did she have a
there was I think the writing on the wall, there was a part where it was like, I think she had like 2 little parts or something, and she sang the low note for Destiny's Child. I think she sang like the alto tenor part when they used to do the harmony. So I guess that's a valid reason or a valid question to ask. Is she ready to become a solo artist? So what is her purpose here on R&B Divas?
I got a question. Is anybody on R&B Divas Atlanta ready to become a solo artist and put out music? I want to hear at least somebody come out with the EP, an album, or something this season.
Yeah, well, keep watching. We'll keep watching, and I hope you guys tune into us every week as we recap R&B Divas Season 3 Atlanta. Let everyone know where you can be found on social media.
I'm Larice People, and you can find me at Truth Peoples on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also, check out truepeoples.com.
Alfred Thomas, you can find me at All Eyes on Black.
And I'm Bamm Ericsen. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter and all that other good stuff. So check me out at Bamm Ericsen. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV for R&B Divas Atlanta. We will see you guys next week.
We back, cuz.
There you go.
We back.
Is that D'Angelo's
Season 3?
daughter?
No, I thought D'Angelo's, that's his son, right?
I don't know. I forget. He got a kid with her.
Well, you know, Angie Stone and D'Angelo.
They got a kid.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
Is that the baby daddy?
All right. See you guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.